The Silk Road was never silent, it whispered. Beyond the thunder of hooves and the clash of steel lies another Mongol empire, one rarely written about. Not forged in open battle, but shaped in shadows. Beneath the legends of Genghis Khan and his heirs exists a quieter history, buried under centuries of dust, deliberate erasure, and fear. Some chronicles hint at things they refuse to explain. Orders that arrived without seals, deaths without trials, cities spared or erased without reason, when the great Khans made decisions that changed the fate of continents. Who was truly advising them when no one else was listening? Persian and Chinese sources speak in fragments of figures who moved ahead of the armies, altering loyalties before the first arrow was ever fired. Other accounts describe forbidden objects carried away from conquered capitals, locked out of sight, never displayed. If empires fall by force, they are ruled by secrets. And the Mongol Empire may have ruled the world not just with steel, but with silence. Among the most persistent whispers is a name that appears nowhere in official records. The Order of the Black Serpent, not a clan, not a tribe, but a shadow fraternity, rumored to exist within the Mongol elite itself. These individuals, according to scattered references, were chosen young, trained to observe, remember, and report. Their loyalty was not to bloodlines, but to the stability of the empire. Some sources suggest they practiced steppe mysticism mixed with knowledge taken from conquered scholars, turning belief into control and information into power. Justice within the empire was not limited to public executions. Entire households vanished overnight. Commanders who hesitated never returned from their tents. Merchants, scribes, even monks were woven into an invisible lattice of informers. The Mongols did not simply conquer cities, they conquered conversations. One internal struggle during the rise of the Golden Horde seems to have ended without a single recorded battle. 3 rival princes died within weeks of each other. No armies marched, no banners were raised. Only decisions were made, far from the eyes of history. The Mongols were infamous for burning libraries. But not all knowledge was destroyed, some of it was taken. Legends speak of sealed repositories hidden far from cities, containing scrolls deemed dangerous to circulate, maps of lands beyond the known world, astronomical charts, records that contradicted divine authority and royal legitimacy. To the Mongols, knowledge was not sacred, it was strategic. There are also tales of relics seized from Buddhist temples, Islamic vaults, and forgotten kingdoms, objects believed to inspire obedience, fear, or madness. Whether supernatural or psychological, their influence was powerful enough to keep them hidden. Then there are the vanished cities, caravans that entered gold-rich valleys and never returned. Fortified strongholds erased from maps. Even Marco Polo hinted at treasuries so vast they were concealed to prevent civil war. To this day, unexplained caches of Mongol-era gold surface in remote regions, stripped of context and record, as if deliberately forgotten. The Mongol intelligence system was brutal in its efficiency. Known only in later accounts as the Eyes of the Great Khan, it spanned continents, sleeper agents embedded for years, false defections, rebellions engineered through rumor and disinformation before armies ever arrived. Diplomacy was often a performance. Alliances were forged quietly, sealed with leverage rather than promises. Bribes were delivered without witnesses. Threats were implied, never spoken. A single messenger could decide the fate of a kingdom, and when persuasion failed, there were whispers of specialists, individuals trained not for war, but removal. No banners, no witnesses, a blade in the dark, a sudden illness. A voice silenced before it could become dangerous. Their names were never recorded, their success depended on it. Empires rarely collapse from the outside alone. Within the Mongol Empire, fractures began to spread quietly. Competing secret factions, ideological rifts disguised as loyalty, governors who followed commands in form, but not in spirit. Hidden rebellions flared briefly, then vanished. Cult-like movements emerged among the elite, obsessed with prophecy and fate. Trust eroded. Some historians believe a final secret remains buried, a suppressed truth about the disappearance of a key imperial figure, or a decision made in Xanadu that accelerated the empire's unraveling. Perhaps the greatest secret of all is this: the Mongol Empire did not simply fall, it unraveled, slowly and silently, and the shadows it cast still shape how we understand power, surveillance, and control today. History remembers victories, but it is the unseen hands that decide them,